Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Microsoft Pulse. We have here with us today myself, Tamara Bredemus, and my lovely husband and partner in technology, Tom Duff. We are going to go through the Microsoft roadmap so you don't have to. We're going to take a look at what's changed and what's new and talk to you about how it's going to affect you. Now, the roadmap is broken down into four parts. The first part is in development. That means Microsoft is working on the feature. Number two is rolling out, meaning it started to trickle out into the environments that are designated for this feature. Number three is launched. Everybody in those tenants that should have the feature should have the feature. And four, canceled, meaning they're canceled. So, why don't we get started in development? And Tom, why don't you take us away?
Sure, there's some things in this list that I thought were really interesting. So her and I'll go back back and forth a couple times on this one. First one, Outlook, custom instructions for draft with Copilot. So give Copilot some instructions about your emails, like the tone, length, greeting. So your Copilot generated drafts in Outlook uh, sound more like you want them to. Hashtag new Outlook for Windows. Uh, I find this just a little strange in the fact that I haven't used this feature in like Outlook on the web because I write my emails. It's not a problem. But when it says provide some instructions about your emails, I'm thinking that's just normal prompt engineering, like write an email that does this, make it sound like that, about this long, be formal, whatever. So apparently they're going to make it a little bit more obvious that with a little bit of work with prompt engineering or understand how to ask better questions of Copilot, you'll get better output in terms of your generated email drafts that you're looking for. That's coming out in May, and that's coming out worldwide, standard tenants. So then we have another one where I'm kind of like, don't we already get this? And it's Microsoft Copilot, fix all spelling and grammar issues with Copilot. Now, this is for Word. It's a one-click solution to fix spelling and grammar errors in the document. Now, I know that if you have spell checking and grammar checking turned on, you get the little blue squiggly lines or red squiggly lines, the whole bit. It sounds like this may be fix it, click, and it takes care of
Hmm.
everything for you. Um, you may like the idea of ceding that level of control. You may not, but apparently this is something that you're going to be able to do if you so want to. This is coming out in April, and again, it's coming out to the standard tenant worldwide. A couple more, and then I'll hand it back over to you. One, I'm going to theme Copilot, sessions grouped by time frame. This feature will provide user conversation history list structure through grouping conversations by time frame to make it easy for users to visually parse. So if you're using the Copilot homepage and you've got new chat, new chat, new chat, you've got chats going back and forth, they're going to list them, I think, in such a way that the time will actually make sense and you can see things in chronological order that you've done. Now, this is something I believe that's already out in the standard tenant because this one's coming out in April to GCC. So if you've always wished that things were a little bit easier to follow in chronological order and you're in the GCC client, you'll have that, or tenant, you'll have that option for you sometime before the end of this month, hopefully. And the last one that I'll mention is SharePoint. OneDrive and SharePoint apply watermark to PDFs. So OneDrive for Web now lets you add text or images as watermarks to your PDF documents. You can place the watermark in front of your content and choose the perfect location and angle for it. That's kind of nice, not having to rely upon a third party like Adobe Acrobat or anything like that to do stuff like that, that they'll actually allow you to do it not only outside of a third party piece of software, but also within the place where the document is actually living, SharePoint or OneDrive. That's coming out in April, and that is coming out across the board. So standard multi-tenant, GCC, GCC High, and DoD, you're all going to get this ability to do your watermarking. So have at it.
Wonderful. All right. Looking at in development, I like Excel, enable a view side by side on Mac. So you can now quickly, or you will be able to quickly compare worksheets in the same workbook or in different workbooks by viewing them side by side with synchronous scrolling and reset window positioning on a Mac. That's due out in May. And then the shared with me settings page in Outlook. A new settings page will give users details on permissions they have for shared folders and mailboxes that they've added to new Outlook for Windows and the web. Then also on SharePoint, OneDrive and SharePoint use the table of contents in a PDF. Isn't this a novel idea? So OneDrive for Web can now display a table of contents that's already in your PDF, and you can click on the line item and then jump directly to that location of that page. So I'm a little excited about that, especially when you get a PDF that's 147 pages long.
Definitely.
And then in Outlook, find text when reading email on Outlook on the web and new Outlook for Windows. So the ability to find text when reading email on Outlook will be supported. This feature is going to bear resemblance to the F4 on Outlook for Windows or a Control F in other applications. That's coming out in May. And if you have Teams Premium, polls will soon be supported in Teams town halls. This is coming out in June. So organizers will be able to create and share polls directly within the team town halls, gathering real-time feedback from participants through multiple choice questions and other types of polls. This feature is available for town hall organizers that have an active Teams Premium license. That means if you're setting it up, you need the premium license, but the people attending the town hall do not need a premium license. Then I'm very excited about this. I would be more excited if it said webinars, but I'll take it. Microsoft Teams town halls in DoD. So we still in DoD have live events. So I think this town hall will be taking over the live events. So set up and host large-scale events across DoD organizations with familiar Teams apps that you use for meeting using Town Hall. Town Hall capabilities include a new meeting template, capacity for up to 20,000 attendees, a green room, and the ability to manage what attendees see, and live translated captions, and much, much more.
Much more.
Yes. Then we have Outlook, create, delete, rename, and move folders. So they made it even easier. How they're going to make it easier, it tells me right here. So you'll now be able to more easily create, delete, rename, and move folders on mobile. From your inbox, tap the edit icon on the sidebar and tap on any folder to create a subfolder or rename, move, or delete that folder. You can also rearrange and nest your folders by dragging and dropping them. So that's in mobile. That's coming out in June. And I'm so excited for this one, Tom. I'm so surprised you didn't pick it.
Well, I'm not done yet, but I'm surprised you haven't tramped on any of the ones that I was going to follow up with either. So, hey, there is that.
Well, I voted Copilot because I know how much you love it.
Smart lady.
So SharePoint document libraries.
That was one I had in my list, so go for it.
Yeah. A new forms experience for streamlined document collection. So introducing native forms within the SharePoint document libraries to streamline document collection. Users can create custom forms directly in the libraries for seamless file uploads and metadata submission. Forms can be shared as links within the organization, facilitating document collection without additional access. I like that. This integration enhances productivity by simplifying workflows and improving user experience. What were you going to say, Tom?
I was going to say, when I was looking at this, on the spreadsheet today, I was like, okay, and this is what? But the more I thought about it, it sounds like it's very similar to being able to do the forms in a SharePoint list, not the
Mm-hmm.
forms of the 4 other types of forms you can do, but the one where you can just say, basically, hey, here's a quick form. It almost looks like, something in Microsoft Forms form, but it's not. And it will allow you basically to send this link anywhere, and anybody can use that link to put something into the list without necessarily
Mm-hmm.
having permissions. It sounds like what this might be is, hey, here's a custom form, put your attachment, put the metadata fields you want as part of that attachment, submit it, and then I'm assuming in the document library, you'll then have the file that you submitted along with the metadata fields that you
Yeah.
listed. And I'm like, that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, that's
So,
kind of going back to how SharePoint used to be.
hmm yeah. So
So
I think
I'm
that's
very
a
excited about
neat
that.
change. Okay,
Yep.
my
What
turn
else
now.
you got, Tom?
Copilot, surprise, surprise. So Copilot actions in SharePoint document libraries. So right now, if you were to be out in OneDrive on the web and you select a file out there, in your ribbon bar, you'll see the Copilot button appear. And the dropdown will basically say, summarize this document, generate an FAQ, ask questions about the document. Okay, that's all great. I'm like, yeah, and you could probably do that in SharePoint. Well, no, you can't, but with this one, soon you'll be able to. This
Ooh.
same feature and actions are coming to document library views in SharePoint and Teams. This is coming out basically across the board, standard GCC, GCC high DoD, and it's coming out in May. So I think that'll be really cool to give you an easy way to use Copilot looking at a specific document without having to try to go to a chat, grab the document, load it in there, then ask questions. It's just part of the chat panel that ends up coming up on the right-hand side when you click it and go. So I think that's going to be really useful. Then we have, and this caught my attention because I had somebody asking questions about PDFs and how do you launch them in Adobe? And the question or the answer basically is it's really hard to do that. But Microsoft Edge, built-in PDF reader powered by Adobe Engine. So Edge will launch the new version of the built-in PDF reader that's powered by Adobe's PDF rendering engine. The new PDF reader ensures that there is no loss of functionality and delivers an enhanced PDF experience. This experience includes richer rendering, improved performance, strong security for PDF handling, and greater accessibility. Again, sometimes you don't get the best process where it's like, hey, I want to go directly to reader. Well, good luck with that. It's going to send you to Edge and you're going to have to look at it within Edge and you may not want to. Well, apparently that's going to now get better. Don't hold your breath for the immediate future though, because that's in development due in October. So you have a little bit of a wait for that one. Then we have, that was that. I'll look, I've got one more that I'll mention and then we can roll on to rolling
Okay.
out. And that is Outlook. Jump to a row in the message list on Outlook on the web and New Outlook for Windows, of course. That means we have to do New Outlook for Windows,
Hashtag.
hashtag. We're making it possible to jump to a row in the message list by typing. For example, while sorted by from in your inbox, you'll be able to type the word Philip, assuming you have an email that has Philip in it, to jump to the first row where the sender is Philip. So that would be kind of cool, can get you where you want to go a little bit faster, especially if you've got a really, really long inbox and there's something like 17 scrolls down. You just type the person's first name and poof, you're taken right there to the first one that appears. I don't know how useful that's going to be on a regular basis or if I'd use it all that frequently, but it's one of those things that if you're used to something like that and it really works for your use case, this will be really cool. That's coming out in May to the standard client. So, and that was all I had for in development.
Okay. I just had a couple more.
Okay.
And that was Microsoft Teams' new voice application settings for authorized users in GCC High and DoD. This is if you have premium. So, voice application policies allow you to create and assign voice application policies to authorized users. Voice application policies control what configuration changes and authorized users can make to the auto attendance and call queues they're authorized for. Authorized users with permissions from Teams admins can configure their call queues and auto attendance using Teams settings and opt in or out their team members to optimize for business teams. Remember, that is a Teams premium feature and it's coming out in July. Then new Microsoft Teams chat and channel experience for education. The new streamlined chat and channel experience makes it easier to stay on top of what matters most and organize your digital workspace. Catch up on chat, channels, and teams all in one place. Create custom sections to organize conversations by topic and use filters to triage messages and more. This is an optional opt-in experience and it's coming out in June. And finally, the last thing to touch on in development is Outlook, the ability to copy non-linked attachments. So when this rolls out, customers will be able to copy and paste non-linked attachments only in supported locations, but without having to save to the device or a cloud storage. And this comes out in May.
I wasn't sure I fully understood that particular feature.
Well, you're able to get the contents out of it without saving it.
But if you wanted to get the contents out, wouldn't you want to save it?
Not if you just want to paste it somewhere, like an email.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so I have it in this email. I want to just copy that and paste it into the other email, but I don't want to have to download it, save it, and then upload it again. I got it. That's what I was missing. Okay.
Okay.
She's the brain of this operations, folks. So should I start with rolling out now?
Yeah, why don't you roll on with rolling out? See what I did there?
Yes, very nicely done.
Thank you.
I have 3 items. She'll have more, probably. So the first one, Outlook, prioritize my inbox by Copilot. This one I'm really looking forward to. A prioritize my inbox by Copilot marks high priority mails in your inbox and provides a short summary of the mail's importance in the message list and the reading pane. Mails can be sorted and filtered by Copilot's priority. In Web and New Outlook for Windows, you can also choose to have Copilot mark low priority mails. I think that is really awesome, especially for people who get absolutely inundated with emails on a daily basis. This has got to help. And I know that when I go to the SharePoint conference in May, I'm going to come back, and in all likelihood, I'm going to have a number of emails. I'm probably going to use this because it will be May. It should be rolled out. Yay me. So looking forward to that one. Then we have Copilot suggestions for slide templates as you work. So now instantly get suggestions for slide templates to use while creating slides in PowerPoint. Insert a new slide or start typing the slide name or type of slide and see suggestions in the Copilot suggestions pane. Again, for people like myself who are not design oriented and struggle with that, this will be really nice to be able to get just in time options to be able to say, hey, this is a great layout for this particular slide. Let's use it. So looking forward to that. That is coming out to the worldwide standard tenant, and it's coming out this month. So that should be showing up soon. And then the very last one, which I'm actually doing a tip on this one, and I'm getting the screen prints that they gave in this particular item because otherwise I'll go, but I don't know what it looked like before. And that is PowerPoint, refresh placeholders in PowerPoint on desktop. So placeholders in PowerPoint are getting refreshed to look more modern and provide clear guidance on the objects that can be inserted. Image placeholders now allow you to pick from a variety of sources to insert an image. We apologize for the inconvenience, but we are rolling this out early to resolve an issue that some customers were experiencing. So basically, instead of having like the one where it's like, title, and then you've got image down below, and you've got like the 6 different icons for images. Well, now it's like title, then you have the text box running down the side, and then you have a big square in the middle, which is for your image, but it just says insert picture. And when you click insert picture, it goes and says, oh, do you want to do stock images? Do you want to do web? Do you want to pull off your device? Do you want to pull from a mobile device? So it's giving you more ways to get the images that you want without just clicking something that looks like an icon that you kind of hope maybe is going to send you where you need to go. So that I think is going to be really helpful. That is coming out in April, and it's coming out to the worldwide tenant.
Great. So in rolling out, yeah, we'll talk about some stuff. Replace Quick Compose pop-up with inline appointment creation in new Outlook for Windows and the web. So when single clicking, I love this because I love this feature in regular Outlook where you can take an email and you can make it a meeting. Mm-hmm. Love that. So when single clicking on an empty time slot in the calendar surface, the Quick Compose pop-up will no longer be shown. Instead, you'll be able to create an appointment by typing directly into the time slot on the calendar grid, just as you can in Classic Outlook for Windows. There will be no change to double-click behavior. The full Compose form will still open as it does today. Hashtag New Outlook for Windows. All right.
And for those of you who wonder why we do that on week in, week out, whenever they came up with the new Outlook for Windows, somebody at Microsoft decided it would be really cool to use hashtags. So everything that has to do with new Outlook for Windows, usually at the end of the description has hashtag new Outlook for Windows. And we just find it funny, so we play with it.
It is for a good laugh. All right. Microsoft Teams, separate policies to control transcription for town hall and webinars, and also a separate recording policy for town hall and webinars. Beg your pardon. So town halls and webinars will now have separate policies to allow or disable transcription in instances. Now, previously, the transcription policy for town halls and webinars automatically inherited the transcription policy set for the meetings. This option to implement different policies for town hall and webinars is available for users on all licenses. And then the same holds true for the recording option. Then in Microsoft Teams, control when shared content is visible to attendees in Manage What Attendees See. An enhancement to the Manage What Attendees See feature, allowing organizers and presenters to control when the shared content is visible to the attendees. This capability is available for meetings, webinars, and town halls. And then one that I think is just a delighter. You can double click or do a 2-click view of encrypted emails in New Outlook. So in New Outlook for Windows will now support a 2-click view for encrypted email. This feature enables admins to require users for confirmation before allowing access to encrypted emails. Admins can find the 2-click mail preview enabled setting in the Microsoft Azure directory. Alternatively, admins can access the set value for this setting using Microsoft PowerShell's commandlet set organization configuration in the Microsoft Exchange Online PowerShell. Hashtag New Outlook for Windows. All right. Anything else in rolling out you want to touch on, sir?
Nope. Do you want me to cover the 2 launched and the 1 canceled?
I'll take canceled. You take launched.
Okay. So for launch, we only have 2 of them. Microsoft Viva Central Community Membership Approval Experience Revamped. So the centralized community membership approval experience undergoes a revamp to make it easier for community admins to manage approval requests for all communities they administer in one single place. So that's coming out to the worldwide standard tenant for Viva. It's coming out this month. It came out this month. You should have it. That's what the whole thing about launched is. The other one is Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal, Endpoint Data Loss Prevention, DLP, device and device group-based policy scoping support for endpoint DLP. That's a lot of words. Currently, you can create a Purview endpoint DLP policy and assign it to specific users or user groups. This feature will allow you to create and release features based on both users and machines. You can use this feature to achieve different policies for the same user on different devices. That's cool. That's out now worldwide this month.
Fabulous. In canceled for your disappointment and pleasure, Outlook Copilot highlights important meetings to prep for. After further review, we've decided not to proceed with this change at this time. We apologize for any inconvenience. In this update, Copilot in the calendar will not highlight important meetings to prep for today and in the upcoming week with a reason for the recommendation. Users will not be able to use Prepare with Copilot to get started.
Oh,
So that has been canceled.
way to improv that description there, my dear.
I'm just here to help.
Which is too bad. I mean, I don't have enough meetings where that's that big of a deal. But
Mhm.
when the feature was first announced, the whole bit, I thought that is actually kind of cool.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm a
how
little
is it
sorry
going to
that's
know
not
what's
out.
important to you?
Yeah, you got a point. But still,
I think that would be hard. Very hard.
but it's AI.
It is. That doesn't make it all powerful.
Of course it does.
AI
It's
is not all powerful. Now you know the secret.
fine.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us this week. Be sure to tune in next week for what's new and what's changed on the Microsoft roadmap. We'll dig through it so you won't have to. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye now.
Bye, everyone.